guys. So I'm doing a painting video. I haven't painted in a long time, but I thought I'd do one for you guys and like voice over it. I'm just doing a simple landscape. I've got two colors of green, a white, and a black. These are all acrylic paints. I'm doing them in my living room floor. Oh, and I've got a nutmeg brown. And I've got a 16 by 20 canvas, some paintbrushes I got from Dollar Tree. You do not need expensive paintbrushes. I can tell you right now, you do not need expensive paintbrushes. And some paper plates, or styrofoam plates is what I used. So I've got the Christmas green and the just metallic green I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm mixing them together with some white. Again, I just like had the inspiration to paint here in the past day. I was looking at some of my old paintings and just thought I would do it. I'm just doing a very simple landscape, and I'll explain to you how these work. Typically with the background of the sky, you start with a light color, and as you come forward you get darker. So I've got this light minty green that I'm starting with in the upper left hand corner. Just patting it on with either a 1.5 inch or 2 inch, but it kind of looks like a 1.5 inch brush. I didn't measure it. I just grabbed some and went for it. I spent too much time when I first started painting trying to make sure I had exactly the right tools, the exact colors, the exact size brushes, the exact type of brushes. You don't need that. Just go with it. Just go with it. Okay, so I've got looks like a 1 inch brush, and then I'm going in with some darker green underneath. Just patting it on there, and what I'm doing is I'm making like a woodsy forest background, and as you get further back in the forest, it gets lighter green because of the sunlight. So we're assuming the sunlight is coming in from that angle. So as you get closer to the front, it gets darker green and more pronounced, if that makes sense. And this is going to be a two-part video. I was going to put it all together in one, but one, it was going to be too long, and two, I couldn't get my iMovie stuff to work correctly, so I don't know, I couldn't piece them both together. So I am mixing together now some of the dark hunter green and the white, getting the correct color that I want, and I am making a darker green in the upper right hand corner. You see, just splotching it in, and there's going to be some areas where there's some white peeking through. That's okay. In a forest, you're going to see other colors peeking through, like white, from the sky in the background, over the horizon. And that's okay. That's what I love about landscapes, is unlike something that's symmetrical, like a person's face or an animal or something like that, a bunch of leaves, a bunch of trees, clouds, things like that, none of that is symmetrical. It's never symmetrical. So the fact that you just go with it makes it look more natural than trying to make it perfect. By just making it imperfect, you're making it look more natural. So I've got a darker green going here. I'm getting more toward the forefront with my trees. And as you can see, I'm just going all in with that brush. Some are higher than others. I make some dabs like up in the area, maybe some trees that seem like they're further in the background are a little bit further in the foreground because of branches sticking out. That's the beauty of nature. That's the way it is. Nothing is symmetrical. Nothing is for certain. Nothing is for certain, Okay, so I am mixing some more colors here. zoom in after I did this. Okay, so I am making a horizon here now. I kind of got inspired from looking at my pond. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I recorded my pond yesterday because I saw some turkeys, some wild turkeys. But anyway, I need to make like an area where a forest meets the pond. So that's what I'm doing right there. And years ago when I would paint, I would take a piece of tape and tape it all the way across because I wanted to be exactly precise. You don't have to do that. You really don't. You can if you want to. Maybe to you it looks better. Maybe it looks more realistic, but not to me. To me, more realistic is imperfect. So, now I'm adding some of the black acrylic because I need a darker shade. Mixing it with the hunter green or Christmas green. I can't remember if that bottle was Christmas green or hunter green. Later on, I bring in another green in my second video. And then I figure out, like, I've gotten it too dark, so I need to actually add more green. And these bottles of paint, they're like that bottle I just used of the green, it's like $2.50. So it's not that expensive. Well, just depending on, I used obviously I didn't even use an eighth of the bottle for this picture, so. I do like this more than oil painting, though. I realize that. So I am making my horizon more distinct. Right there. With the darker, and I just decided to add a little bit more dark bushes, trees, what have you, in the forefront. Just going along the line there. And again, you do not have to have expensive equipment. You do not, or paintbrushes. You do not have to have expensive paint. You don't have to have any of that. What ends up making your paintings look professional is the detail later. And I'll show you what I mean. Of course, that comes in the second video, but and then it's just me kind of, there's a little bit of stuff showing that shouldn't have, so now I think I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. Thinking. And again, I just went for it. Like, I used to never do that when I would paint. I was just trying to be, like, so precise. I've learned in the past, like, year, like, don't be precise. Just go for something. Just go for it. You enjoy it. Go for it. Do it. See how it looks. If you don't like the way it looks, it's fine. But, like, if you're enjoying it, more than likely, it's going to come out looking better than if you're, nitpicking every little thing about something. Okay, so now I'm doing a line for the pond, which again, I got the inspiration from my backyard. And it is a lighter color. It's very similar to the one I first started with, like a minty green. Not quite the same color. You'll never get quite the same color mixing your different colors together. But I'm starting with that base. Just kind of going all over for the bottom half of this picture. And then I'll add in the other colors in detail afterwards. I can't believe I'm painting now. Like, I never thought, not that I never thought I'd paint again, I just haven't felt inspired at all. need something in the forefront that is not just a pond. Of course, if you wanted to just have a pond coming all the way to the front, you could. It's perfectly up to you. I'm just used to the more I say classical, the more Bob Ross type. You've got woods in the background or mountains. You've got water in the middle ground, and then you've got land in the foreground with big trees. That seemed to have been what I could tell, like what he did a lot of. And I'm just kind of going with that because that's what I'm used to. But for now, I'm adding a little bit of extra color to the pond area. And I didn't mention this, but green is my favorite color, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something with it, with a lot of green, mostly green, and then of course some white, black, and brown. So it's at this point I think I'm thinking about like what to do as far as the foreground, the little white area, and I'm really considering like how I want to do that so I get the nutmeg out. And I put it in my other plate. I get a 1.5 inch or a 1-inch brush, I think, and take some black and put it in another little area and mix it with the nutmeg, because unlike the sky area, whereas with the sky area you go from light to dark in the foreground, on this land area you're going to go from dark to light, if that makes sense. So the back part of the land area is going to be darker than the fore part. So first I'm making my line, freehanding it, which again I would have never done when I first started painting. I've been like, I gotta put a piece of tape up, I don't know how to do this. Like I can't freehand a line. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna come back in just a second and finish it. Okay, so I'm continuing to do my landscape, if you will, the forefront area with some dark brown for the land. Again, that is in contrast to what I did with the sky area or the horizon area before. You know, it went light to dark as you got to the foreground. This goes dark to light. Okay, so I am continuing to add some black and white to it, lighten up the color. So now I am doing the tree. You just grab some black and pull it down and just say, the hell with it. You know you're going to be able to make it work no matter what, how it looks. Take the black, pull it down, that is your base for your tree trunk. I'm doing 2 trees. I need to stop crunching. I don't know if you guys like hearing food sounds, so this is the first part of the video. This is me doing the background and then the base of the 2 trees. And then I come back later and actually do the detail work, which is my favorite part. My absolute favorite part is to do the detail work, because the more you do of the detail, the more realistic it looks. So, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of me just doing the basic background, pond, foreground, and then these two trees. I hope you found it relaxing to watch the brush strokes, as well as me just kind of rambling about it. And again, I've been feeling so much better lately to be able to do this, and I'm so happy to do